You don't feel out of place because you're caught between generations. You feel it because your brain never settled into one single system. And that's why even the simplest things now take more effort than they ever should. You're standing in your kitchen, phone unlocked, rereading the same message. Your thumb hovers over the send button, then pulls back. You change one word, then another. Why does this feel so off? Nothing about the message is complicated, but something inside you won't let it go through clean. Part of you just wants to send it and be done, but another part treats it like it matters more than that. So you pause. Again. This isn't just about texting. It shows up in smaller places than you even notice. Stay with me. I'm going to show you exactly what your brain is doing in that moment, because once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it. And it didn't start here. You're standing in the kitchen, staring at a text message you just received. You type a quick response, then stop. You delete it, retype it, and try a completely different tone. But finally, you just set the phone down. You stop. This hesitation isn't because you're unsure or indecisive. It's because two incompatible response systems are firing at once. One system pushes you to react immediately to stay connected. The other demands you weigh every word, because once it's sent, it's final. This micro-friction is quietly draining your energy on things that should be effortless. Why does this feel harder than it should? This isn't overthinking. It's system conflict. And that conflict didn't start here. You once had the patience to wait a full week just to watch a single show. Now, you're ready to skip a video after just 3 seconds. Same person. Two completely different timelines. The truth is, you didn't grow up gradually. Your environment flipped before your brain could even finish developing. Your prefrontal cortex was still forming when the world shifted from delay to instant. That wasn't adaptation. That was interruption. Without a period of stability, your brain was forced to keep both opposing systems active. You didn't integrate them. You stacked them. Now, every small decision requires you to choose which version of yourself to use. And once both systems stayed active, everything else changed. You don't just think differently, you remember and trust differently. You might have a vivid memory of an old moment, even with no photo to prove it ever happened. Yet, at the same time, you still honor a commitment made days ago as if it was set in stone. Your analog memory allows the past to fade naturally, creating space for nostalgia. Meanwhile, your digital system keeps everything instantly retrievable. It stays. The imprints of past uncertainty have trained your brain to prioritize long-term risk avoidance. That's why you still check your bank account even when you know everything is fine. This conflict leaves you caught between longing for the past and being hyper-vigilant about the present. You can't fully trust the stability of what you have right now. What if this disappears again? Your past didn't just happen. It trained your expectations. So when people say you're in between, they're missing something important. You don't struggle to fit in. In fact, you've trained yourself to fit anywhere. You talk completely differently when you're around younger people, but instantly you switch your tone when talking to those who are older. And the strangest part is, no one sees the contradiction. Your brain has optimized for zero social friction. Too smooth. Switching identities this fast helps you avoid conflict and stay accepted. But the cost is that you no longer feel the need to keep a stable version of yourself. That's not flexibility anymore, that's disappearance. Out of all those versions, which one is actually you? Because if you stop adjusting, something uncomfortable shows up. Even when nothing asks you to adjust, you hesitate anyway. You're alone, with no need to please or adapt to anyone. No audience, no social context. But without external cues, your system doesn't know which mode to prioritize. Your brain stands still, waiting for input just to choose a version of you. No signal. This is when you realize you've been relying entirely on your environment to define who you are. Without a specific setting, you have no clear definition of yourself. If you stop adapting, what's actually left? You don't feel lost. You feel unselected. And that's the part you can't keep ignoring. The truth is, you weren't shaped by two different eras. You were interrupted between them. That's why your brain never chose a single way to operate. It kept both systems running and learned to switch instead. You belong to the group that can read a room instantly, because you've practiced becoming whoever the room needs. Not once, for years. You don't move through life as one single version of yourself. You are translating yourself in real time. Think about the last time you adjusted yourself without even noticing. Not a big moment, something small. A shift in your tone, a word you swapped out, a reaction you held back. Write that one moment down in the comments. If this felt uncomfortably specific, you'll want the next layer of this conversation. Because the real question isn't when you learned to adapt, it's when did you stop needing to know who you are first.